Oh, I've waited a long time for this one. The peatiest whiskey in the world. Octomore. So if you're not aware, Octomore is from the distillery Bruichladdich, not Bruichladdich like I may have thought a while ago because I'm an idiot. But this is a single malt Islay Scotch whiskey, and it is known for being super heavily peated, as is put on the bottle. So this is Octomore 12.1. This is the 12th iteration of the Octomore series. The 0.1 just means it's the most true Octomore. 0.2 and 0.3, they start doing some cool things with like salterness casks, which what the 12.2 is. I haven't got my hands on that one because they're really hard to find. I'm excited for this. As you know, I like my smoke and I like my Islas, so we'll see how this one stacks up. So this 12.1 is 5 years old. It was aged in first fill American bourbon casks. It is 59.9% alcohol, 119.8 proof. It is cask strength, so it's gonna be a heavy hitter. Now, I actually have had this for almost a year. I bought it in December of 2021. It was incredibly hard to find. That's one of the issues with Octomore. They're gonna cost you a little more. I think I paid about $230 for this. I'm not sure what the prices are now, but my value is what I paid for it. So I paid about $230 for this. I looked for 4 months for one of these bottles and I couldn't find it. So finally I found one and I obviously just paid for it. They are limited releases. They do one every year. That's going to jack the price up a little bit. Now, yes, it is 130.8 ppms, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be like all smoke. So little bit of a disclaimer with phenol levels and ppms. So ppms are measured on the malted barley, not on the whiskey. So just because it says 130 ppms doesn't mean it's just going to be, oh my gosh, I'm drinking a glass of ash. For reference, Ardbeg uses about 50 ppm malts, and I think a Lagavulin is probably like 40 to 45. So this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be 5 times as smoky. A lot of phenols get dissipated through fermentation. Hopefully that puts some of you that might be like trying to get into more heavily peated stuff at ease. It should not be just all ash, and hopefully my wife is listening and she can maybe calm down a little bit because she's very nervous. She's gonna throw up, she said, I think today, before she's gonna drink this whiskey. Anyway, let's give this guy a nose. I've been smelling smoke since I poured it out, so I'm very excited. So let's see what we got going on here. Oh yes, obviously peaty smoke. However, there's some dried fruit and zest kind of just hiding underneath that smoke. It's very warm. It's a very warm nose. And I don't want to say muted. I think the peat is getting more and more subtle the more I nose this. And some nice leathery fruit zest notes are coming out of here. It's actually pretty floral as well. It's hitting a lot of stuff. Oh man, kind of like, this is gonna sound really weird. You have like a nice little campfire, just put a basket of fruit in there. Yeah, and then you have some nice woody, leathery notes as well. This is an outdoorsy nose, I'm gonna say. And actually right now it's 50 degrees. I love it. It's gonna be chilly. This is a perfect whiskey for this. So let's down the hatch. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've had a sip of this in about 6 months. The most peaty thing I've had since then is probably an Ardbeg. So that was a very, that was an enthusiastic sip, so I'm a little woozy right now, so hold on. That was better. That was a little more self-control. Obviously, the peat hits immediately, and that is just sitting right there on my tongue. But I think I'm gonna call it like buttery. The legs of this guy are extremely slow, and this is a really nice coating in my mouth, and it's seriously, it's like a buttery, smoky, fruity popcorn. Like, that's really weird to say, but that's the best thing I can describe it. And now the more the finish is sitting, there's some more of those smoky dried fruit notes. And in fact, that was a poppy lemon zest right on that sip as well. So again, just because it says 130, super heavily peated, peatiest whiskey in the world, do not let that like scare you. There's some more complexities to this. The cask strength just gives you the full experience of what they get out of the barrel. So it's not just all smoke. There is some nice, pleasant notes out of this. So if you can find someone that has a bottle of this, maybe they're willing to share it with you. It's gonna be hard to go out and find and buy one. The next release, I think, should be pretty soon. And I know that Bruichladdich website lets you order from their website and they ship. So I had bought another Octomore that's upstairs from them and it went very well. So I'm gonna give another sip because I love this stuff. Yeah, I found another word to describe this along with buttery. It's velvety. You can just really, I know it's a liquid, but you can like feel the texture of the notes in your mouth, and it's awesome. Like, I know I'm a little biased, and remember that I rate these things based on my preferences, but this is just awesome. For somebody that likes peaty Islas or just peaty whiskeys in general, you really need to try and get yourself a bottle of Octomore. And by the way, Octomore 12.1 was the highest peat level I think that has been, at least on the Octomore series. It was over 300 ppms. I've never been able to find it. I've looked. I am super curious what that tastes like. So if you've had it, leave a comment down below. I'll be really curious to see how you guys enjoyed it if you did have it. Anyway, let's give this guy a rating. So honestly, I think the nose, as much as, you know, as much as there's smoke right on the front, there's a lot of nice, again, like outdoorsy, fruity, woody stuff going on there with some nice subtle sweetness that's just sitting underneath of that smoke. So I'm gonna give that nose a 4.5. It's a nose that I really, really, really like. And it just makes me want to take that first sip. The palate, again, I mean, I may in fact be the most biased whiskey reviewer there is. However, it's hard for me to say this was bad. So let me give you one more sip. Yeah, that was kind of like smoky candied fruits. I'm gonna give the palate a 4, simply because I do love all the notes, but the cask strength kind of, it doesn't burn, it just hits your mouth a little stronger than at least I was expecting, and it kind of takes away from a little bit of the notes, not a lot, just a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a 4. It's not super hot, but it could be a little milder. That would have gone up to probably a 4.5, I think. Now the finish is absolutely awesome. I don't have to sip this much to get all the notes out of it. I really don't. I am still getting all of those candied fruit, smoke, vanilla, buttery things right now. And I know for a fact, right in the middle of my tongue, I'm gonna have that for the next 5 minutes, if not a little more. It's great. It's kind of like, I don't want to say this just because of I'm trying to like pull back from the ppms, but if you ever smoke a cigar, you taste the cigar all day. It's not quite gonna be all day, but you definitely have that nice lasting finish on your tongue. So I'm gonna give the finish 4.5. It's great. It's really good. Now for the value. This is where it's gonna be a little weird because yes, it's limited release. I understand that. And yes, it was hard for me to find one, at least last year in 2021. However, it is a 5-year single malt, so I can't say that I would spend $230 on it, like if I already had an Octomore before. So now that I've had an Octomore before, I don't think I'm gonna go out and try and spend over $200 for an Octomore unless it was like a 10 or 15 year Octomore, which I do have a 10 years upstairs, so stay tuned. But I just don't think that $230 is worth, just for the fact that it's a limited release. I'm gonna give the value a 3.5 because the experience is very nice, at least for me. So yes, it's not quite worth $230, but I would probably pay maybe $180 for this, maybe cut $50 off. That's probably the max I would pay. Knowing what I know now, it's an amazing experience for people like me who enjoy Pete's, who enjoy Islay. If you don't, then it's probably not up your alley. So, I mean, just be aware of that. So, 3.5 for value. I'll do some math, get back to you. Okay, because math is stupid, it came out to 4.125. And I'm not doing that kind of granularity with my rating, so we're just gonna move that up to a 4.25. Yes, I'm going to defy math. Very good rating, I think, at least in my previous ratings I've given as far as with the new scale goes. I think it's my highest. I do know that my wife will absolutely not like this, but it'll be fun to watch her squirm, won't it? So, let's watch. Okay, it's time to torture the wife. Now, I don't want to do it on purpose, but she just does not like smoky whiskeys. So, are you nervous?
No, I just don't want to do this.
Well, you don't want to let your thousands and thousands of fans down. Give it a nose.
Ugh.
Can't be that bad, right?
Oh, that was, no.
You don't get dried candied fruits,
No.
nice outdoorsy, it's fall, you know.
It smells like a fire pit.
Okay.
No.
What you like, don't you like sitting around fire pits though?
No, I don't like smelling it.
Well then how do you sit outside by a fire pit?
I mean, I like sitting outside and getting warm.
You don't want to put your face in it.
No.
Oh, well, I think unfortunately,
It's in a fire.
I mean, I would absolutely do that. So, let's see. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here with you. We're all here with you. Okay. So let's go. Drink the whiskey.
Oh, God.
All right. It's a little
No.
dramatic, don't you think? Hey, at least give that a like for the acting, because I think she's kind of like milking it a little bit. I mean, there's no way it's that bad. I mean, 4.25 is pretty good. So nothing redeeming about this whatsoever.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life.
That is not very nice. Bruichladdich, I love you guys. I love this. Want to send me some? I'm here. It's at the bottom of your list of
yeah.
all time. So the Bowmore is higher.
It's like burning down my throat.
Well, it's 60% alcohol, so it's not like light.
My lips hurt.
How's that finish?
I don't like it.
Okay, so just across the board, oh my god, horrible from the wife. And for me, it is very, very good. I love it. And actually, if you want to spend more money than you would on the Bowmore 25, the highest, the top, like, really water, really? What is this? What is this? Hot ones?
Wash it down.
The highest, I guess, tier of Octomore is Black Art. I think it's over like $600. I've never bought it, I've never had it, but I know my Scotch father has, so maybe he'll share with me one day. Who knows? Anyway, passed me, did not pass her. Most things don't. But if you want to see some more reviews, I got some right there, and see you next time. All right, real quick, before we get to the Whiskey Wheel, I just wanted to mention that I recently discovered that one of my viewers' sister's dogs, Tim, slipped his harness, got hit by a car the other day, and they're trying to raise some money to get his operation done. I'm gonna just put a screenshot up of their GoFundMe and put a link down below. If you want to donate, go ahead. You don't have to, you're not obligated to. I just wanted to use any sort of reach I had, even though it's very small, to just get the word out. If you do donate, maybe share it to other people that you think might be interested as well. I appreciate it, and I know my viewer probably would as well, so thanks. All right, you know the time, Whiskey Wheel time. Let's see what fate has in store for us today. It's the 10-year Octomore. And I honestly, I filmed this after the review when I said stay tuned. This is awesome. So now, the wife gets to have another Octomore next week. See you then.